responsibility, the impressions of the novelist. Novelist is writing, is creating a plot, creating characters, delineating thoughts, presenting it. But in all these things, the novelist creates his own impression, communicates his own impression. This is predominantly the impressionistic technique. But in this impressionistic technique of narration, the novelist sometimes annihilates his own narrative. It's a very subtle point you must understand. It's an annihilation of the narrative of the narrator himself from the narrative. Impressionistic technique, therefore, acquires a different dimension. Conrad is one impressionistic writer who has been able to efface himself. This is an art of self-effacement. So when he narrates a novel, each reader will feel that he is a part of that experience. So much so that when you read a novel, you believe this is the novelist writing. But when you read his novel, you will find that the novelist is gradually effaced, missing. His presence will not be felt anywhere. Why? Although he is writing in impressionistic manner, yet impressionistic technique dissolves itself into self-effacement, art of self-effacement. And when finally he reads the novel, you see that Conrad is present nowhere. Each experience, therefore, his impression, personal impression, subjective impression, also becomes a universal reality. And this is one of the rare features of an impressionistic writer. So the life that he narrates makes it impressionistic, no doubt, but he gradually removes those impressions so lucidly that the technique will lead the reader to understand as to where is the truth and where the thought is. This is how the presence of the author is nowhere found around the author. The author is there, but his presence is not felt by the reader. This is how the impressions of the author are considered to be moving in two directions together. One, that he maintains an objectivity from the heart and the experience, and other, that he annihilates himself and makes the reality more pronounced than the individual. Therefore, appearance becomes more important than emotion. In fact, perceptions are more important than reflections. Revelations are more important than discursiveness. Suggestions are more important than statements, and therefore implications are more important than technical perception of reality. These are the achievements of impressionistic writing, and Conrad has fully achieved this. I also told you that Conrad's literary culture is French. He is a born Polish who writes in English, but the literature he writes is not having English literature, British literary culture. It is basically French. And the most dominant impression was that of Flaubert. We have noticed how Conrad's impressions are experiences themselves. This is what the important perception is. That impressions turn into experience, and experience becomes universal. So impression does not remain individual perspective, it becomes experience. Impression turning into experience is one of the features of Flaubert's writing as well. Therefore, a major influence of Conrad is that of Flaubert, the famous French novelist. Henry James's immediate impressions of life, of various forms of reality, and reminded of so many perceptions of reality. Virginia Woolf believed that the truth has to be perceived in certain halos. Life is not there. Give lamb the symmetry that is arranged. There is no symmetry in life. There is no definitive order. Life is very chaotic, but art is orderly. So when life is turned into art, what is an art? When life is turned into art, between the chaotic nature of experience and the most formulated form of that expression is of phenomenon. And She believes that it is like a semi-transparent envelope, not like a big lamp symmetry arranged. It's not lamp arranged in a symmetry in order. It's like a semi-transparent envelope, not a total transparent envelope, semi-transparent. That means it creates a hazy atmosphere, and there you have to locate the essence of life. So, psychological knowledge of poetic nature of their writing are more interested in the heaviness of it, the protoplasm of life, I should say, I use Lawrencean terms, and the semi-transparent existence of reality as continuum concept. Conrad is very close to these arts because Conrad is art, and this perception and the delineation of art is the impact of French fictional. One is Henry James's impression you have to keep in mind particularly because it's not in terms of the immediate forms of life that is not in the heart. And reality, therefore, must be taken as a challenge. And Flaubert took this challenge of presenting the medium presence of life. Needed are multiple, different, varied, multiple shapes are there, and therefore you cannot expect in some Conrad's novels, in Virginia's novels, in James's novels, in Flaubert's to great extent in Lawrence's novels, just imagine, or James Joyce's novel, for example, specifically the kind of narration that was there in the Tutorial section or in the 18th century novel. This is how the modern novel is entirely different from the rest of the predecessors. I am dependent now. Let us move straight away to the novel because these sections of art are the made up of complex art are to be examined in terms of the novel that we have written. Well, Heart of Darkness is probably the smallest novel, shortest one. It is more a novella than a novel. And I will read one sentence from the novel itself, which is a very concrete observation of how relationships between life and action and act are determined in the vision of Conrad. Everybody acts, everybody does something. But what is the relationship between him and his action? Now, this is not just a matter of emotion or feeling or what he wants to do. The primary thing I told you is the motive of the character that is most important. The motive of the character. Motive we will examine in this novel also. But look at this statement that Margot, the narrator of this novel, says, I don't like work. No man does. But nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to take a strain. I also don't want. But we should not forget and we cannot ignore the truth that those who act know the meaning of life. Those who do not, they have no idea of what life is or what action is. So to be inactive or passive is one state of existence. To be active is another. And when you are becoming active, you may lapse into errors, no problem. Because when you act, you may commit errors also. You should not decide that I will not act because I may commit errors. So, to act and to commit errors is more beneficial than not to act and become or remain absolutely perfect. Now, this is the difference between man's justification of his vision of life and his actions, the relationship between the two. Now, look, I don't like work. No man does, I expect. But I like what is it in the work? What is in the work? I don't want to work, but I like what is in the work. And you do something, there is something in the work. And the work is the action. And each work, therefore, will give you something. Good or bad, that's a different thing. But it will give you something. If you do not work at all, you are deprived of that which is good for that. So this is what is very important. I like what is in the work. The chance to find yourself. If you work, you can find yourself. Okay? This is the chance to find yourself. Action, therefore, determines the possibility of any potential of your own life. And therefore, the search for the reality or the search for identity multiply this only when you act. If you do not act at all, you cannot make a valid such. Therefore, this is the most pregnant expression about the relationship between man and action. We will see how the central character puts act in this novel and how others do not act. And those who do not act, how they are deprived of the significance of life. How the man who acts, no matter he dies, no matter he suffers, no matter he is bothered, okay, and he suffers the agony of life very bitterly, no doubt. But he definitely knows something. He knows something, and he discovers the significance of his own life. Therefore, action gives you opportunity to discover your own self. And this self-discovery is possible through that action. This is what the notion is there behind this concept of work. Your own reality you may know. You may know yourself, not for others. This is not for the awareness of others. This is not for the evaluation of others, but for your own self. Because you have to discover your own self. And you cannot discover yourself only in your action. Because you can judge yourself, evaluate yourself, examine yourself, correct yourself, may commit mistakes in your action, but all these are different steps to realize the meaning of your own life. Therefore, action is simple. And then what no other man can ever know. So when you act, you alone know the significance of your action. Others may not know this because they have not acted at all. Just imagine. Those who act, they know. Those who act, they know. And this knowledge is deep. It's a matter of self-touch. So, in Conrad's novel, we have characters of action. They are not characters idly sitting, contemplating. They are not philosophers. They are men of action. But through their action, they realize the meaning of their action. So they can only see the mere show and never tell what it really means. So those who are standing at the shore and watching the ship tossing on the waves of the sea may know that there is a storm, but they cannot have the present storm. Knowing something and having the experience of it are different things. If you stand on the shore of the sea and see that the ship is tossing on the waves of the sea because there is tempest in the sea, then your experience and your awareness of the tempest is a detached one, complacent one, inactive one. But if you are on the ship which is being tossed, which is passing through the storm, your experience and understanding of that storm, the meaning of the storm, of the tempest is entirely different. This is the difference between the man of action and the man who is complacent. In Conrad's novels, we have characters who are men of action, and also those who are men of no action at all. And the difference between the two is highlighted, the significance of life. That is the essential thing. So, those who are standing ashore cannot understand the significance of the tempest, cannot know the real meaning of the tempest. Only the sailor who is there is struggling hard to protect his ship knows the real meaning of the tempest. So this is how the essence of this novel has to be perceived, that in heart of darkness, if you go deep into the heart of darkness. Now let us see how this novel takes the readership to the heart of darkness. So before I look into the texture of it, I will go into the very significant and minimum possible references to the plot structure of moves forward. Can we give a total impression of the novel? But before that, we will have to keep in mind one thing, which I also think. Heart of darkness. That means darkness is an entity which has got a heart. That's its heart is heart of ignorance. This is like heart of darkness. Means darkness is an entity, darkness is a conceptual reality which has got a heart or perception. Look at the other meaning. Heart of darkness means every heart which is in darkness. Heart of darkness, heart of goodness, heart of brightness, heart of joy, and heart of sorrow. Just imagine. That means that every heart has darkness, and darkness has a heart. Look at the meaning. Every heart has a darker self, and every darkness has a heart. So this journey into the heart of darkness is not simply a geographical movement from London to Congo. Remember this. It's not a journey. This is a simple meaning. Generally, we could believe that it's a journey. It's a metaphorical journey into the self of man, because every man has a darker perspective of his heart, and that darker perspective has got a heart. So darkness has a heart, and heart is in darkness. There are two meanings. One. So this is the metaphorical relationship between the darkness of the heart and the heart in darkness. Each heart is in darkness. This is in fact the vision of darkness. It is this dark vision which you might have experienced if you have read it carefully. Macbeth too was in a darkness. Okay? And Macbeth's experience was also a vision of darkness. But Conradian vision of darkness is deeper, denser, more agonizing, more troublesome, more existential than Macbeth's. So this is the vision of darkness. Heart of darkness, therefore, is a novel that takes you deep into the inner recesses of human mind, which are revealed, unraveled, opened for the evaluation of the world, for the perception of the reality, which is deeply buried inside. Until and unless you enter that dark region of your heart, you cannot discover its heart, because darkness has a heart. Darkness has a heart. To know and understand and the impulses of that heart of darkness, you need to go into the darkness. You need to discover your own darkness. You have to make yourself such. You have to go deep into your own human existence. This is a metaphorical journey into the deeper regions of human mind. Right here? Right here? It's an exploration of soul. Heart of darkness is an exploration of the soul of darkness, the heart of darkness. That is the infinite processes. Therefore, this is not literal, absolutely metaphorical or symbolic. Now, let me make it very simple first, so that you may understand what the novel is and how it happens. Look, there was a company in England which dealt in ivory trade. Ivory, you understand? Yes, the suspect is, which is very precious. We wash our teeth every day, rub it, and nobody cares for it. The elephants never brushes, and we are craving for the tip of the elephant. But the ivory is a grade. Remember, each word, each image is a metaphor. It will transform. Ivory, what is the color of ivory? White. This is white man's burden. Remember, white man is British. Ivory trade is in fact the motive. There is a company which deals in ivory, and the company sends agents, messengers, staff to the darker region of Africa, because in African regions, particularly in the Congo region, which is the center of this novel, there are so many elephants, tuskers moving in the forest, and they can have a good number of, a good amount of. So this is how the business is going on. And I told you, Conrad had a wish to go on a voyage from the very childhood. I told you he put his finger on the map, and that was an unknown place. It was discovered as Congo. He decided to go to Congo. Now this is the alter ego of the writer. Currently it seems to be the writer. Basically the experience of Conrad himself when he visited the Congo region is the root of this novel. But the novelist will disappear and he will be replaced by humanity. This is how impressionistic technique is dissolving into self-effacement. And that is how the art of Conrad achieves a definite metaphorical significance and the art. So what happened? There is a character named Kurtz. K-U-R-T-Z. Remember, this is a very famous character of Conrad. That's a Conrad. some news coming from the deep forest of Congo region about the trade, how the trade was progressing, how things were happening, what profit company was making and all that. A situation arises when some unfortunate diseases come from the depth of the forest, and then the company decides to send another person or staff. But the staff is not ordinary staff. He is the director of the company, and his name is Marlowe. Right? Marlowe is the director of the company dealing in IT. Marlowe is the narrator of this novel. Two roles have been played. He is a character and he is also a writer. So this is a novel written in third person narrative technique. Conrad is not writing. Conrad is not narrating. It is the character who is narrating the novel. So it's a third person narrative technique which Conrad has used. Now, Foods is in the deeper areas of Congo. Marlowe starts. And Marlowe, the novel opens with reference to Nelly is the name of a boat. News steamer, French steamer. So the news comes that a French steamer is going deep into the Congo region. It's not every day that the ship goes. Very rarely, after months and months of preparation, a ship goes out of London and goes deep into the forest. The trade has to be continued. Two things they have to remember. When I told you ivory, the white color, which is significant of the white burden of the white man, emotions or motives, number one. Secondly, Thames is the river which stands for civilization, because Thames is the opening gate or is in fact the gate to the rest of the universe for the creation. Thames River therefore stands for civilization, and the ship moves out of Thames, meaning thereby civilization moves out, goes deep into the African region which is uncivilized. Okay? So Africa represents the savage, Britain represents the civilized. River Thames is articulated, sophisticated, embankments are here, move out of it, but when you go deep into the areas of Africa, it is not the river as tamed as Thames. It is a river which is wide. It's a river that goes in multiple directions. It's a river that goes deep into the darkness. Such a dense is the forest. Dense is the forest, and such impenetrating is the atmosphere that even sun cannot look into the earth. When you enter this darkness, this is going into the cave. This is like going into a cave which is full of darkness, and you have to discover the heart of this darkness, because the probability is of the nature of darkness, of the function of darkness, of the essence of darkness, of the vision of darkness. You get it? Darkness is not a character, but darkness is the most dominant character in this novel. Because darkness, the whiteness of nature, and the darkness of that Congo region is indeed the darkness of human existence. It is the darker perspectives of life. It is the darker corners of your heart. You have to go into the darker corners of your heart to know that what heart this darkness has, what nature this darkness has, and what is the function of this darkness, and how humanity is subjected to this darkness. Therefore, about Hardy's relation between nature. There is also a nature, but it is not that external nature that matters. It is the internal journey inside, and it is another image. So, it stands for civilization. Congo River stands for strategy. This is the journey from civilization to strategy, with this motion, with this mission that the savage has to be civilized. But instead of civilizing the savage, the motive is ivory trade. Motive is ivory trade. So there is a deception, there is falsehood, there is exploitation, there is a torture. Just imagine, and the whole of the Congo region therefore suffers at the hands of this very image of civilizing the savage. This is how. Look at other metaphors. When you enter the Congo region, it's not that river that flows. River that flows is probably the blood that runs in the veins of right there, the river that flows. The river brings life. The river makes protection. Without the river, nobody could have gone deep into the forest because there were no roads. There were no passages. The forest is dense enough. It never allows anything or anybody to enter. Such is the dense wall of darkness created around the forest. It is uncivilized, uncultured, unadulterated. The more uncultured it is, the more unadulterated it is. It is the raw form of nature. It is the hellish form of nature. It is a mysterious form of nature. And the raw form of darkness has to be interpreted. Therefore, the narrative purpose is to look into the heart of that. So there is a river that flows in our body, and there are darker regions in the body. So through this flow of light, you are going to explore those darker regions of human existence, where there are territories of civilization, there are territories of savagery, there are actions which are precipitating different actions. Because I told you there is motive, there is action precipitated and directed by the motive, and there is a reaction against that action which is precipitated. Remember that there's a motive, action, reaction, they are seen as a narrative, and therefore each action in this order has to be applied. So Marlowe boarded that French ship or a steamer, USA, better known, named Nelly. And he was accompanied by us also. One was the accountant. The other is in fact the narrator himself, who is Marlowe, the director of the company. And the third is a lawyer. So these people board the ship and they decided to go deep into the Congo forest. When they moved forward, Marlowe is a civilized creature, educated one, without any taint of savagery, mind it. So he wants to move, and when he looks into the spheres of darkness, that is Congo region, he is badly perturbed, because he finds that there is a density in the darkness is deepening. Sun cannot approach, no light is perceptible anywhere. Looked around, he found so many aboriginals, the native people, the people who didn't have clothes to wear. Some of them were fully naked or half naked. Most of them were looking barbarous, looking like animals, fierce, wild animals. But most of them were put in shackles because they were moving in chains. Their legs are chained. They are in groups. They move. And when they move, their chains clash against each other. And the sound that comes is the sound of savagery. Is the music of the Congo region. Is the music of darkness. So when they move out, they are all forced into action. Because there are contractors, there are educated people who have come from England, who have come from the civilized world, to promote that trade, that is ivory trade, and many others also. Variety of people are there. They all have come with a philosophy, with a promise to civilize and change the condition of humanity. But people are still living in the pathetic condition, and they are treated like savage beasts. They are never treated like human beings, and they have never opened up their minds. They believe when a steamer comes, they have a different kind of impression. They believe some hope is arising, some change is possible, that we shall be becoming civilized creatures, that our condition will improve. Okay? But with this hope, when they approach the steamer unloads not good to them, only exploiters. Because every steamer brings some civilized people, okay, some motivated people with a definitive purpose to arrive in the Congo region, and so each river, which first looks like a hope of change, of civilizational growth, is most disappointing because every time the steamer brings people clever, crooked, intentionally preparing to extract as much wealth out of this Congo region as possible, and thereby to exploit people in as many ways by using them as a laborer, treating them mercilessly, employing them or subject them to rigorous work without food, without habitation, without any sharing, without any human touch. Okay? I'm giving you the instance, which I go to the novel later, but this is the fact. So they move there, and then he discovers the jungle, he discovers the darkness, he discovers the flow of the river, which is very difficult. After the ship moves to some extent, after 3 hours, and he suddenly found there was another ship which was upside down, in fact, stuck somewhere. This is a metaphor of how civilization has approached the world of darkness. It has not been able to flow freely. Instead, it has been stuck because the ship is turned upside down, the machinery has failed, and then the collapse. These are all metaphors. Neither the river is symbol, neither the river is literal, nor the forest is literal, the ship is literal, nor the characters are literal. They all are metaphors of different ideas, and the interpretation of the novel therefore takes total, metaphorical, symbolic significance. Otherwise, the meaning of the novel is too much. So, when he moved forward, after a couple of days, they reached the first station, and there are stations. So the ship was halted. They came to the agent's office, and there an old accountant was sitting. He was preoccupied with his books. Then, after a chat, Margot could know that there is an agent whose name is, and he is working at the innermost station of the Congo region. Innermost means the most distant. The river flows, beyond which there is no end. So infinite is the range of this darkness. Infinite is the heart of this darkness. It's like an unending tunnel of darkness in which the river flows. And Marlowe goes to discover, to know, to explore, because the novel is an exploration in the darkness of humanity and existence. So he goes there. So the man said, look, Kurtz is one agent who is declared as first class agent. First class means there is classification. So Kurtz is the first class agent of a company. Why first class? Because he was stationed at the innermost, of exploration, number one. And secondly, he was making as much profit as possible. So much so that all the agents of the company could not match the contribution of goods to the company, because one agent could profit the company or bring profit to the company more than all the agents of the company. So goods has a very special place in the eyes of the company, and the news had come that goods was sick, goods was ill. There is a possibility he did not survive. So there is an operation to rescue him. Marlowe is going to rescue him. As the whole European civilization is going into the Congo region of Africa to rescue humanity, to change their condition, to improve them, to civilize them. So the same thing has been metaphorically portrayed that Marlowe goes to the Congo region to rescue Kurtz, because he knows that Kurtz is probably in danger, but Kurtz is very valuable to the company, most valuable probably a first-class agent. So he decided to move ahead. When they move, when the third stage comes, the fourth stage comes, and there are the journey is in different stages. Then there is a time when on both the banks of the river Congo, there are aborigines. They are having their weapons in their hands. Okay, lethal weapons in their hands. The shovels and the rocks and other things. So they were holding it, and they attacked the ship because they have been passing through the phase of disillusionment. It's a question of existentialism. The the movement that came into Europe, which dealt with the disillusionment and despair of humanity, particularly in the background of the Second World War. Because existentialism is that system of thought or that philosophical movement, that literary movement also, the strong reflection in the movement, was basically dealing with the disillusionment and despair of humanity in the background of Second World War. That is what existentialism is. So these people were basically disillusioned. So they are angry. They attack Russia. The people on the board, very difficult for them. Marlowe suddenly pulled the chain and the steamer whistled. And when the steamer whistled, all the aboriginals fled away. Now what is this? This is that they didn't have the idea of what this sound is. So ignorant they are. So unaware of the world they are. They are living in a region of this universe, of this space, that's a Congo region or a African region, where civilization has not entered, where knowledge has not penetrated, where wisdom is a far off thing, unimaginable. Just imagine, they are basically roots in fact. They are in the condition, the life of animals or beasts. They do not have any idea of what kind of sound is. So this sound is frightening for them. Look, the metaphor is, they are full of sound, but the sounds of savagery. Here there is a vision of the civilized world. This sound of the civilized world is unknowable for them, unknown for them, unknowable for them, just imagine, inconceivable for them, and therefore, so this matter. This is one example I wanted to cite to show how there is a big gap between the aboriginals on the one hand and civilized people in the shape. So this fled away. Now the journey keeps and finally Marlowe reaches the place where fruits meet. Okay? That was the destination. When he reached there, he met a Russian traveler. He was a young boy. The Russian traveler was full of appreciation for food because he said, "Food is a wonderful person. He is a man of wisdom. He is very compassionate. He has given me knowledge. He gave me direction. And in fact, it is he who has brought me awareness of this Congo. So this Russian traveler was also an explorer. Different types of explorers are there. Different motives are there. Different purposes of this are there. And the resultant effect is always negative on the other. So the Russian traveler was full of appreciation. And it is from the two sources of information are there. One was the accountant, the old man who informed about goods. The other very important informer is this Russian traveler. This Russian young traveler told Marlowe how he felt about goods. And he presents a very glamorous, glamorous not in the literal sense, glamorous is a very positive, pessimistic portrayal of the character of goods. Goods is the same. But when Marlowe reached there and started observing, he found that food had become a part and parcel of the town. Food had come with a definite mission. I will tell you. Food is the alter ego of Conrad. Food is the alter ego of Conrad. Because Conrad wanted to go deep into the forest to travel in the shape of Food is representing that aspiration. Food was an ordinary person. He had a beloved whose name is not written in the book. It's an unnamed character. But he wanted to marry her, and she was a rich lady. Her uncle was having a very high position in the company. He also wanted to have a desire that let me go deep into the forest. It is two purposes. One, that my desire to explore the sea will be fulfilled. Right? And secondly, I must earn some money through this ivory trade, which I will do for the company, but I will also enrich myself monetarily. And if I improve my financial condition, I shall be able to propose to my beloved. Propose this for marriage. gradually support himself and make him more comfortable financially so that he is capable of having his intended beloved. But when he went deep into the forest, he started living there. He developed a detailed relationship with the aboriginals. As an agent, he started using them, employing them, putting into service. But he was also gradually becoming cruel. As the aboriginals were, as rude and risky in his behavior as aboriginals were. So gradually we feel, metaphorically the novel suggests that civilization enters the region of the darker regions of the dark heart, okay, and then gradually the darkness consumes it. Darkness consumes it. Once you plunge yourself in the heart of darkness, the darkness will swallow you gradually, till you are finally. Good had lived in the dark forest for a longer time. He went with two properties, as I told you, and there he started doing good business. Company was earning a lot of money because ivory trade he could promote this. And traditionally, he could send packs and steamers and boats of ivory to England. But at the same time, he developed his own practices. I should earn some money for myself also. So, side by side, for the company and also for himself, he started accumulating wealth. There is a third motive also. It is hidden. Nobody knows it. One motive was that there was a non-governmental organization. It was a study to be conducted, and that organization, the office, wanted to make a study of the aboriginals. How are the aboriginals? Who are they? You know, the Indians are very little adventurous. The Europeans are extremely adventurous because they could go to such a distance. They have given us the right idea of the deeper regions of Africa. Okay? And they have been great explorers, there is no doubt about it. So they decided that there must be some person who should be sent to Congo region to make an anthropological study of the aboriginals. Anthropology is related with the genes, with their species, with their tribes, with their culture, with their customs, with their beliefs. Just imagine their dress habits, their food habits, everything. So the total anthropological study, historical study, cultural study of the aboriginals had been carried on. But there was no specific separate person ready for that. But when that organization came to know that there is a man in Woods who is going deep into the forest, he was employed by that company also. So that company said, okay, I'm giving you some points. You go and study anthropologically, culturally, by the customs, by the language, by the dress, by the food, by the habit, by the condition of humanity. They are of the aboriginals because we are ready to prepare a statistical data of it and publish it for the world to know how the aboriginals are. So, Kurz was living there for a long time. He was doing that job also secretly because he was preparing reports about the aboriginals, about their customs, about their habits. I told you everything. That all these things were the points of assimilation, and Kurz was preparing a long report. In fact, it was a 13-page long report that Kurz had prepared on the condition of aboriginals in Congo region of Africa. Right? So this is a cultural study, exploration. This is anthropological exploration, and there is also material exploration because the material gain was associated with ivory trade. Okay? And at the same time, we have got the real psychological exploration into the heart of darkness, which is the metaphorical. So the novel is not just a narrative of some characters, some males and females. It has nothing to do with the love. The love is rooted in certain kinds of lust. Lust is rooted in lust because there is lust for wealth. There is for ivory. And ivory stands for the metaphor of lust. Ivory stands for the metaphor of white man's knowledge. So ivory becomes not a substance. Ivory becomes a metaphor. It's a symbol. So the character was there. After some time when he lived over there, Marlowe could also gather some of these is known as the savage mistress of Quds. Now you remember, Quds the civilized, Quds the savage. Quds civilized had an intended lady waiting in the city of Brussels for him. Because he wanted to marry him. It was her uncle who promoted him, who got him the job. He helped him. So Quds the civilized has very motive, but Quds had lapsed himself into the darker regions of the abolitionists. So he had, in fact, a savage mistress. And the savage mistress of Quds was as wild, as fearful, as volatile, as beastly, as powerful physically as anything could be. And she controlled the whole of the tribe. She was almost like a leader of the tribe. And when she raised her hand, and the description in this novel, the language of this novel is entirely different. Not just the literal. I told you in the beginning that the language has to be studied carefully because it's a poetic novel. It's not just a novel, it's a poetic novel. And that poetic quality is more important than anything else. Anyway, so that savage mistress of Quds was having a definitive control over Quds, therefore, in a way, had submitted himself to the sanctity of the Congo. Quds had, in fact, submitted himself to the stability of the Congo. Now, the question arises, what for did he go there? Did he go to submit, or did he go to resurrect himself? Did he go to civilize savage, or to become a savage? That's the difference. So, what is the victory of Quds or the defeat of Quds? These are all different questions metaphorically that the novel raises and the novel discusses. But the answer lies in the I told you. Action nobody wants, but there is something hidden in the action, the meaning of the action, and you can know that meaning only through the action. Quds acted. Quds acted. He indulged. He started practicing the customs of the aborigines. He started practicing the religious rituals of the aborigines. He started having physical relationships with his savage mistress. And he also used them as laborers. So he was a trader, he was a man studying the culture, anthropologist, and he was also one who wanted to extend the territory of civilization to the world of savagery, which he failed miserably in, because he himself became a part of the savage darkness. This is what the darkness stands for. So once you enter the domain of darkness, darkness starts swallowing you gradually, fully, and then digesting you, making a part of the darkness. You become a heart of the darkness, and there lies part of the darkness where Quds is staying. Okay? Darkness has a heart. Darkness is a living substance. Darkness is not just rigid, invisible. No. Darkness is a substance. Darkness is a vision. Darkness has a heart. Darkness has a power. It has a teeth which can swallow and digest and chew you, as Quds chew and digested by darkness. Darkness is therefore the most engulfing power. Remember, it is a metaphor of the inner darkness that you have. When you lapse into your inner darkness, when you become a subject to evil patterns of your life, you have entered the darkness of your life. Okay? And you will definitely discover only when you enter it, then recoil may be possible. The whole tragic sensibility, the Aristotelian concept of tragedy, just imagine the Greek perception of tragedy and the different stages of tragedy, all implied here. Therefore, Quds becomes a great tragedy. Like that. So he indulges into action. And that action unfolds reality. Action unfolds significance of life. If you do not act, significance of life is known. So Quds, no doubt, suffers. No doubt is defeated in a way. He's not defeated, but he is in a way defeated because he went for civilizing, he in fact became savage. Okay? So he became a part of the dark. This is a defeat. But in this defeat, there is a knowledge. He saw things naked. He could feel it. And what was the purpose of Conrad? To make you see, to make you hear, and to make you feel. That is the credo of the novel. So he is not writing a novel and a story. He is trying to make readers see, hear, and see. How can you see into the deep darkness of the Congo region? You have to see through Quds. You have to see through. You have to see this narrator in the novel. Who is Marlowe? Marlowe is a little different. That's Kurtz is involved. Marlowe is a distant observer. That's the difference between Marlowe and Marlowe went deep into the forest and discovered this life and could know the inner relationship of Kurtz with the rest of the world and the kind of harmony he had established with darkness because he had become part of that darkness. Darkness speaks to but Kurtz has become very old. He is now sick enough. In fact, he is going to die. And when the time of death comes, Kurtz is passing through an agony. Because he had three visions. One to get back to the city of Buddhas and marry his beloved. Another was to earn some money, financially become affluent. The third was to prepare a report for the anthropological society. These are the purposes with which he came. These are the motives of his life. These are the functions of his life. And these they are the determinants of the meaning of his life. He was defeated. So he wanted to compensate and he wanted to deliver himself. There was no other source because legally he was not fit to go back. And whenever when the news was, I'm not reading each part of the novel. I hope you will read the novel. It's a wonderful novel. You can read one if you have time. I do not know. It's a book of mine, maybe in the library. Dynamics of poetry in fiction. But it's a very specialized approach to this novel. There is a separate chapter on art of darkness in that book. Okay? But remember that may not serve all your purposes because that is a very special study of how prose becomes poetry. What do you think? Dynamics of poetry in fiction. Because when I did my research for my doctorate, my research was not on any novelist. I didn't write the story of it. I was studying how prose becomes poetry. It is prose. It will remain prose. The fact is written in prose. No, but modality will be employed here, but it poetry must improve. That is how the novel is. And that novel, this novel, Art of Darkness, is written in that book, The Dynamics of Fiction. If you feel like you can go through it, hardly 15 pages, 13, 14 pages are written exclusively on this book. You may discover some different kinds of layers of meaning, but set aside, it's a recommended reading. If you find time, you do it, if not, don't bother. The question is that this is a novel in which Marlowe wanted to study, and Kurtz is the object of his study now. The subject changes. When Kurtz went to Congo, he was studying the whole of the thing. When Marlowe went, he had different purpose. He had purpose to rescue Kurtz, to bring him back because he was unsafe. That was the news, and he was the most celebrated agent of the company. So the company was worried about his life. But when he went there, he encountered a different reality. One example was the attack. Then one day, a very faithful employee of the company came to Marlowe and said, "Here, sir, you remember, the aboriginals had attacked your ship." He said, "Yes, you remember? The whistle was blown and then the people steered away. They steered on that town." He said, "Do you know? It was Kurtz who had asked me to attack." Look at it. What is it? This is a very simple description. If you read the novel, a concept reader only can do it. This information suggests that Kurtz had become a part of the darkness. Kurtz was one of the aboriginals now. Kurtz has dissolved. And so, the voice of Kurtz was also the voice of darkness. So he inspired his men who were attacking. Because if he comes and rescues him, then he may not be able to fulfill his dreams of life. So every time when the ship comes after him, he is never happy. He wants them to be scared. So torture them, scare them, and frighten them, they will get back. They are civilized people. And civilized people are people. Definitely. Because sophisticated you may look, but inner robustness and the genuine natural strength, civilization comes. Civilization tempers. The savagery has the root in the realities of this universe. So they are civilized people. Frighten them, they will run away. Okay? The war between civilization and savagery. War between civilization and savagery. This is the history of civilization. This is the history of understanding that this is the history of Europe, this is the history of Africa. Therefore, it has always looked at in a different and then news is spread in the area that here is a person, the director of the company has come to take away goods from here. People were very angry. And the most angry was the cabbage mistress of those goods. She was leading the crowd. Nobody had the guts to take him away. And really, nobody had the guts to take goods away because nobody could resurrect goods. Such was the gripping power and force represented by the character under the leadership of that savage mistress. How can she surrender her love to somebody else? She cannot. It's a different thing that a sophisticated, cultured lady waiting in Brussels is still waiting endlessly like a photo. Will you get it? So the question is that this savage lady would not allow goods to go back. This is what it is. Goods was also a stranger. Goods was a European. Goods was civilization. Goods has a mission to go into the darkness, but once he goes there, he is swallowed, digested. He becomes a part of the darkness. He is part of the darkness. He lives in the heart of the darkness because there is a darkness in his heart. This meaning you think of you won't get anywhere. There is a darkness in his heart. What is his darkness? His darkness is that he wanted to be money for himself. Right? His darkness is that he wanted to be enslaved by these people and to slave them. Both of them are. So all missions of good and noble nature are defeated. And therefore, he lands himself in darkness. Because he himself has a darkness in his heart. So, darkness has a heart, and every heart has a darkness. It doesn't remain a case of Fools and Marlowe or any individual. It becomes a case of humanity. Because every individual has a heart, and every heart has a darker heart. Those impulses that lead you astray, they are the darker forces that capture you. And once you submit yourself to those forces, you are swallowed and swallowed and swallowed. Beyond salvation, beyond if they have read the book of feeling his future of